You know, trailblazers paved the way for black-owned restaurants like the one we're at today, Third and Fernwood. And you know, some of those trailblazers were known as the Friendship Nine.
And Dedrick, it was just over 60 years ago that the Friendship Nine sat at an all-white lunch counter in Rock Hill and were arrested. Instead of paying the fine, they went on to pioneer the jail no bail movement. They spent 30 days on a chain gang in hopes of standing up to the system, and ultimately that led to change nationwide. One of those 9 men, Willie T. Dub Massey, went on to live a life of public service in York and Gaston counties in the public education system. And it was as I was retracing his steps, I learned that his own daughter is walking in them.
Every day is a different story. We like to be very visible on our halls.
When 7th grade school counselor Jennifer Massey enters a room,
Good morning.
her presence is palpable.
Don't forget to send me that email, okay?
And spend just a moment with her at Castle Heights Middle School in Rock Hill, you'll learn exactly where it comes from.
I mean, my dad was a beacon of this community in the schools, and so anytime my presence is, anytime I walk down 7th grade hall, I want my presence to be known, and I want my kids to know that I really genuinely care about them as their counselor.
Her father, Rock Hill civil rights icon Willie Dub Massey, walked these same hallways. Throughout his time in York 1 and Rock Hill schools, he also served as a counselor and a teacher. And as a substitute, everyone knew his name.
He's coming in, you know, suit and tie, and walked in, that class got quiet. He sat down and he preached, took him to church.
All right, so we were talking about the topic.
8th grade teacher John Price has been at Castle Heights for 13 years. He says as a new teacher, he heard students rave about substitute Dub Massey. So one day, Price sat in on a class.
He would explain stories to people about his experiences with the Friendship Nine. And then he would tell stories about just what it is to be a good citizen. What is it to be a good husband? What is it to be a good son or daughter? You know, what is it to be a good American? The historian part of me was amazed about the stuff he had lived through. But the man in me was just amazed about what a good man he was. And he inspired me in so many different ways.
The school's crisis management specialist, Arlo Wilkes, was a student in some of his classes.
He showed us that he cared. He didn't just treat us as students or as students that he's just going to be with for the day. He treated us as family.
It's my 2nd year at Castle Heights.
Both Wilkes and Price say working with his daughter Jennifer is like having Dub there every day.
It's like a wonderful thing. She reminds me so much of him. So Jennifer is more of she's our school counselor, but she's more than a school counselor. I kind of all the time call her all-purpose because she might be an administrator at one second, then she has a student counseling them, and then she's teaching, walking the halls. You will see her very visible on her halls. So like she reminds me strictly of him.
Jennifer will tell you her inspiration to serve others, her drive and passion come from her dad.
Like even when he pastored his churches, like he loved hard. And so he instilled that in not only myself, but my brother as well.
That love reflected in Massey's words in this 2009 interview with the late WBTV Steve Crump, when Massey shared what fueled his desire to be a part of the Friendship Nine.
You went to jail. And I said, but I had a purpose. I had a reason to go. I wanted everybody to be treated the same, regardless.
This is Dub.
Now Jennifer says every day she's proud to point her own students to her father in the history books as she inspires them to live out their own stories.
I'm thankful for those 9 men at the age of 18 with suits and ties to walk down. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to stand before you as your school counselor. We would not be able to walk through the doors. So if you have a free education, I need you to come to school and I need you to do the best that you can do. Be the best that you can be so that you can go out here and soar and be something and make something of your life.
And Jennifer's mom was also a teacher, so the whole Massey family went on to live a life of public service.